Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks again for watching these videos. Today we're going to continue the process of curing our Coppa. So what I have here is the Coppa roll that we cut off of our original pork butt, and then I have measured out the correct quantities of salt, dextrose, and curing salt that we need based on the weight of our Coppa roll. And so our Coppa weighed in at 935 grams if you remember from the original video. Now these three compounds that I'm using to cure are all based on percentage measurements of this Coppa weight. So my salt is equal to 5% of the total weight in grams of the Coppa. So it weighed in at 935. I end up with 47 grams of salt. Pretty easy, really simple math. You take your original weight, you times it 0.05%, you come up with 47 grams. Next is our dextrose. It's equal to 1% of our total weight of the Coppa in grams. So it's a little over 9. 935, we get 9 grams. And then lastly, our curing salt number 2. Again, our difference between number 1 and number 2 is explained in another video post about the science behind the curing that we're doing today. But the curing salt number 2 that we're using is equal to 0.25% of the entire weight of our Coppa roll. So we take 935 times 0.0025, and we come up with a little over 2 grams. This is about 2.4 grams of curing salt number 2. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to mix all three of these together. I'm going to get even distribution. I just had these laid out on a plate so that you guys could see the different sizes and proportions that we're using today. I like to just put them all in a bowl and toss them together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to split this solution in half. We're going to apply half of it initially, and then we're going to apply the second half in about a week's time when we have a nice primary cure on our Coppa. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to take about half of my mixture. I'm not weighing this out now. This is just eyeballing it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take about half of it here, and I'm just going to put it right onto my Coppa roll. Now we'll come back to this in a second. The rest of this is going to get stored in a Ziploc bag in a nice dry place, and we're going to use it in about a week's time, like I said, once our initial curing is done. Now what we're looking for, as I explained in the science behind charcuterie video that I posted up here, is we're looking for an equilibrium between the compounds that we're applying on the outside of the meat and the cells on the inside. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're just going to rub all of this in really well to the surface of the meat. Now you can see here we have lots of surface area that we're working with, which is going to mean that this is going to have a nice even cure distributed through everything. So I'm just going to get all of this absorbed in. I'm going to get it on the ends here, because what this is going to do, as we talk about in the other video, these cells want equilibrium. They want to suck this salt in and they want to expel the excess moisture so that the outside of the brine solution that's going to form is the exact same proportion of salt and water as what's inside the meat. And when that's happening, it's reducing the water level, reducing the potential for bacterial growth, and it's also going to firm this meat up, and it's going to fix that color that we like and give it that hammy taste that we associate with prosciutto and capicola and other whole muscle cuts like this. So I've got a clean, brand new gallon plastic bag. I'm going to stick this in here, just put it in the bottom. Any excess cure that's out on my plate, I'm just going to brush that into there, because as I said, this is going to suck the liquid out and create a brine. In a couple days you'll look at this in your fridge and it'll be floating in a mixture of liquid. Do not pour that off, because what that is that's the cells, the liquid that's being extracted. And what's going to happen is initially the salt's going to penetrate, it's going to suck a lot of moisture out, and then over the next couple weeks that interplay between the equilibrium, that's brine solution and the meat itself, it's going to absorb some of that liquid back in. So it's important that you don't pour that all off. So now at this point our Coppa is ready to go into the fridge. We'll come back to this in about a week's time and we'll apply the rest of our salt cure to it. At that time, when I pull it out of the fridge, I'm going to wash it down with a little bit of red wine. That's just going to make it a little more acidic in this environment here, protect a little bit against bacteria, and also give it some nice flavor. We're going to rub it down with our salt, and then the next time that you'll see me using this in a video, we'll be flavoring it and casing it into our beef bun. So I hope that gives you a good start on our Coppa roll here, and I hope to see you again in our next videos.